Okay, so to do this, you can see I'm using the bright market glitch. Now to do that, you need first of all an old save. I'm talking pre-Frozen Wilds save. So all you need to do for this one really is you need to get a mount during the Looming Shadow quest phase, which is the last quest right before the end. It is pretty much the finale of the game. Instead of checking the defences and going to sleep in Olin's apartment, instead take a mount right hard to Bright Market from Meridian. And as long as you've got the older save, you can get through the gate. If you've got a newer save, it might not do it. Now, I tried this once before when Dee suggested it, and I couldn't get through the gate. I think that was because it was a newer save, it didn't recognise it. But you can go anywhere you like. As you can see, I'm just trying to get higher and higher with my mount. And eventually I succeed. Now, I would have cut all this out, but I kind of need to explain a lot in this video, so I'm going to leave it all in. But basically, all I'm trying to do is fly my mount to Meridian, and then put it in the place where you fight Helis. And as long as you can do that, and then go back, teleport, I should say, to another campfire, and then you can go through the campaign as usual, and your mount's going to be down there when you fight Helis. I suggest doing this on very easy or story mode. I went on story mode. Helis has a sword instead of any sort of gun or weapon, and it basically protects your mount from damage, because as soon as your mount takes significant damage and dies, I'm not sure if you can call in a new one where you are, so you don't want your mount to die. So I would suggest doing this game type on story mode or easy mode, whatever you want to do. But on this story mode, Helis has a sword. He doesn't do as much damage. Your mount's not going to die, and it's better for yourself if your mount doesn't die, because if your mount does die, you can't then fly out to there. I don't think you can call in a new one when after your mount is dead. I did try at one point and it sort of just disappeared and glitched out of existence. You can see me here just adjusting the volume type because I realized it's awfully quiet in the background, but I needed to talk anyway, so just for me, sometimes having the music helps, because otherwise it's just a lot of riding and a lot of quiet. So I had a couple of ideas for this area. First of all, I wanted to explore Meridian from the sky, and I at one point beach myself, and then I start exploring it from the ground. But I do by jumping around and that sort of thing. But I do get my mount back and I explore it with my mount a little bit. But still need to do that. But I just had so many other ideas for exploration and for tests. And basically the whole of this video is me trying to get the game glitched out enough to get to the naming cliff without any barriers. That's the basic idea, because as you know, when you're on a mount you can fly through some barriers, but other times your mount will stick to things. Like here, it got stuck to the roof. It just sort of warped onto the roof all of a sudden. So yeah, I got stuck here. So physics in this game when you're flying kind of go out the window a little bit. So there's a lot of different rule set systems for it, so I'm just trying to explore what I can use and, let's face it, abuse in order to get to the naming cliff. And I know someone else has done it on PC. It would only be a matter of time before PC released, before someone got to the naming cliff, before someone explored like outside the map area, because they can do that with the mods or whatever they do. Not interested in, not that I could, but I'm not interested in hacking the game and like doing anything out of sorts towards this, because for me this is all still within game and morally questionable but acceptable, whereas like hacking the game straight out is not something I do. They might ban me for it, and I don't want to be banned from this game. So basically, yeah, this is just me looking around the city. Later on I'm trying to get to the naming cliff and things really glitch out, so I managed to break the game 4 times in total, and some of that's going to be in this video, and then I'm going to do another video. Like, this is slightly glitched out, but the next video is where things really hit the fry pan and they get really, really glitched. It really went nuts towards the end, and I couldn't believe, like, I released that little video where I'm falling through the floor, and it's basically that over and over and over and over, and things just went nuts. Really went nuts quickly. So even though I didn't make it to the naming cliff on any of these videos, it is kind of interesting to see what I did and how I went about it. So I'm gonna try and explore some of that as we go through these videos. So in this part, basically all I'm trying to do is fly to where the Pharaoh robots come down the slope. I want to get to the top of that slope. A, I want to survey it because it's cool, and B, I want to make sure that, as well, quick pro tip, stick to the left when going up the stairs and walk it, don't run. I might release in all the failed attempts where I got stuck in the wall, but it sometimes just glitches you into the right wall, so keep left on those stairs. After that you should be fine on all of this bit. It's just because the cliff's there and you might get stuck in the cliff face because it's actual ground, whereas this is stonework. It's not counted as real ground. But yeah, I'm basically trying to ride to the slope, save at the top of the slope. Now, I didn't save on this one because I had a better idea, but I will do on the next video that's going to be released after this, or maybe I'll incorporate it into this one. Yeah, this is another thing, getting stuck in that bit can allow you to fly, and that will, if you go up to the place where Helis cracks the stone, he went through that entire section where he emerges somehow from the cliff right beneath your feet, and you think, how the heck did he get there? You would think someone noticed him coming into the city, but yeah, so he emerges from that area, and you can use that area to fly, or you can use like the towers behind you to get up higher and fly, or there's several points in the city, and it's just trial and error sometimes. But the Sun Priest's temple, I suppose, is a good one, because the 4 corners of that, you can use it as a lift to get higher. You got to walk on it rather than run or trot. You just need to walk on it, and it will just take you up like a lift. Loop back around, do a 180, and then it will take you back down again. Or if you do a 360 and walk right round to the start in a sort of wide loop, then it will take you up higher again and again and again, and it will just build up height. So here I'm riding in the wrong direction. I thought it was over here, but that's great. It gives me a bit more time to explain. Basically what I decided to do on this one after I got to the slope, I didn't save on this playthrough. That will happen on another playthrough. But all I wanted to do was ride straight to the naming cliff. I wanted to ride on the floor all the way back to the Nora mountain. And I thought I had a good shot at this, because it did take me quite far away from the map. So the plan was just to ride to the slope, survey the slope, then beach myself deliberately, and then ride from there to the naming cliff back to Noralands. Now, 2 things to note of importance here. Not once did I enter the yellow box that said your quest is here, you need to go here, because that sets up a very different chain of events of where I can and can't go. If I had entered that box, it would say leaving quest area, and it would have glitched me out sooner, I think. Now, here's the slope. It does look awfully cool. And at one point I will slide down as Aloy, but not on this video. It's very impressive looking. Now, I have a couple of ideas here. I could go straight to the border by the cliffs and go into the black zone. I could go back. There's the box I spoke of. I could go into that and hope that it will now like latch on to the fact that I'm in a different area. But what I did was what stuck with my original idea. I went to the campfire. Went to see if I could save. Turns out I can save, but I didn't save on this playthrough. But then I tried to ride all the way over to the Nora land, so I will show you what happened. So I basically sped this up for you guys just so that there is no cutting away from it, so that you can see I'm still on that quest and I want to get all the way over to there. So I'm in that zone now. I could have saved. I can see that I can save, so that's something to note in future, which will come into apparent on the next playthrough. If you do this glitch, I would recommend not saving at all, and there is a reason for that, a very good reason for that. It will break your game. And that will be in the next playthrough. There are certain circumstances where you can save, and it's fine. But they're very far and few between. If this is your first glitch and your first playthrough and you're new at this and you think, hey, this looks like fun, by all means do it. And if you can do it, do it. But don't save. It will kill your game. You'll have to close down the entire game, reload the entire game, and then go back to a previous save on the load screen at the very start of the game. On the loading page, you'll have to load a previous save. Now, I did also try and do this with a manual save to see if that would change anything, and no, it doesn't. It just means that that save is permanently inaccessible. It just doesn't recognize the fact that you're in a quest on a different save in another part of the game. The game will load to a certain point, but not all the way. It will just glitch out. So there's me trying to re-enter Bright Market to see if I can redo the Bright Market glitch to get higher. I can't do it because it's a one-time only dealio. As soon as you've done it the first time, the game will block you doing it a second time. So if you've done it, go back to a previous save and make sure you can go back in time, as it were, before you did the glitch, because it will allow you to do it one time and one time only. After that, it will recognize that that's not an area that you should be going into. So if you want to do it, by all means do it, but bear in mind that if you want to I love how the sky changes on this, and yeah, there it is again. So if you want to do it, but bear in mind that as soon as you do it, you can't do it again unless you go back to a previous save. So here I'm about to jump ahead. I wanted to take a picture and I've really sped it up. I wanted to take a picture of the fallen Pharaoh robot because I hadn't seen that before. And I'm about to check the map in a second. Yeah, I think I'll slow down time for this one. So you can see I'm trying to get over there. I've just left the jungle and I'm on my way to the Tornek site, which means that I have gone a significant distance away from Meridian, but I can't get any further than that because the game doesn't recognize it. And it will just break down. I really wanted this to work, guys, but it takes you to this perpetual loading screen which will not load and will not go away. It can't take you back to a previous save because it doesn't recognize the save. So after this, I tried again, this time with my microphone on, to talk you through it. I went back to the previous save where I was standing just after the battle with Helis, and I'm seeing if my mount is still there after I fought him, or if it's not. If it's not, then it's all gone and I have to start again. As it turns out, it was, but here's what happened from there on. So take it away past me. Alright, I'm back. Moment of truth. Where will I be? Will I have to do it all again? In which case it's not going to happen tonight because it's fairly late. And if I am where I think I am, and I think I'll be on the stairs again with Helis, do I get another shot? And do I save outside? I can always go back, was my thinking on that one. Or I can always go back to a previous save. But they're quick saves, so I can't go back. Which means I'll have to override another file. Don't really want to do that, but I feel I must. Sacrifices have to be made. And video sacrifices sometimes have to be made. I'm really scared, guys. I'm really scared that I'm going to lose this file. Nope, there it is. I am where I think I am. I don't want to lose this file. This is one of my original files. Let's bring the audio right down so I can hear myself think. There we go. So first thing I do, go up the stairs. Right around there. Yep. Bit lower this time. Right. So that's the area we're going into, but we want to get in here. So we're gonna have to go round. Kind of interested in seeing the spire as well. Can I get to the spire? I can always load the last goose. I can always load the last save. What's the spire looking like right now?
I'm going too far afield. Go too far.
Leaving quest area, but it still doesn't count because this is an old save. So it doesn't matter that I'm leaving the quest area. Oh, okay. I beached it. Right, load up your shield again before we drop down the next one. No! Just couldn't keep my footing, guys. I couldn't keep my footing. I rushed it, and that's on me. We're going to go a little bit higher, because I want to go straight to the top of the spire. I need to go round the box, it's the quest area, rather than going into it. Or, I don't know, I mean, maybe going into it triggers, like, you are now here. So it might drop me off at the next checkpoint, and I'll have to go back a checkpoint. Nope, still here. Alright. Nice and gentle. I'm trying to rush because I know I have to edit this down quite a bit otherwise. I really don't want to have to edit too much of this. I've already got to speed up my video to ×2. So use that to get up the stairs. Go through there, yep. Go up the stairs again. Stop. Go up the stairs again. Right. That door is now open. We can use that to launch right across. Right, that is... Whoa, that missed by miles. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that in the background. That's the second time I've seen that. The, like, underworld of... I'll slow that down for you guys. You saw that? It was the like underworld of Under the Metal Devil and Under the Mountain and all of that jazz. I like this music. It's that Meridian music, I suppose. Nice little guitar riff. Oh, we got stuck. So nothing going on at the spire just yet. Gonna have to reload from the previous save again. Ah! Here it is! Here it is! Invisible Barrier 101. Right, let's see. Coax this guy down. Doesn't want to do it now, he's been grounded. Oh, for the love of all that's good and holy. Holy Meridian. I know how to get on the outside of there if I need to. But look, the Vanguard aren't here, no one else is here, everyone's not here because it's preparing for the final, like, fight here. Let's try this again. But this time, I want to ride basically into this wall and go over it. I might have to, because it, about here, when right before I got to the tall neck, it was like, hey, you're leaving the area, you need to be over here and you're over there. So I need to cross this bit into the darkness. We start from save. Let's take us back. There's a lot to be had here. There's a lot to like go over. But honestly, I think the biggest problem I'll now have is that mount's going to be stuck there. Because I couldn't go back. I got stuck on that loading screen. I can't go back to a previous quick save where it's before the fight. I don't think. Might want to check that before I go on, because I'm terrified. Nope, it's still there. That's still there, and I can still go back. That's good, because I'll need to. So the spire is still untouched, which makes sense, I suppose, because now it says that I am at the ridge. Now it says go to the ridge, yeah, so. Up we go, through the open door. Right, up the towers. Nope, still not high enough. I need to be higher and higher. Right, I'm gonna have to loop this around. Meridian really is empty, isn't it? gorgeous as well. In the cheap seats at the back. Wow, that was the sun god's chair. All overgrown now because no one's using it. That's where he'd sit and watch the blood happen. Just need to get a little higher here. Or lower. I don't know where I am. I have no idea. I have no idea where I am. Oh wait, I know where I am. I'm at the place I wanted to be before with that mini little staircase going up. Which is here, by the way. It's right by these two sort of areas. There's a shop around here. Obviously the merchants aren't shown on the map at the moment, but it's between on these three like little huts, and it's between the first 1 and 2 here. And it's this little staircase, and I always, you can't get up it. I always wondered what was up here. Nothing, but it should help me out get a little higher. Wonder if Dervold's still in the prison. If it wasn't for the fact that I need to go up, I might find Dervold. Honestly guys, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just trying to get anywhere higher in any way I possibly can. So some of this might not make sense, but it's not really meant to. Like, where's the prison? It's like the biggish building, isn't it? Is it there? I'm so lost and confused without like the marks. I should know my way around by now. I know what you're thinking. You're like, what? How can you be lost in Meridian? You should know your way. And I should, but I've really never ever learned it. I still get confused when I spawn in. I'm like, where's this, where's that, where's the other? And I still have a huge problem finding anything. It's here, isn't it? The cells? Yeah, it is. Nope, he ain't there. Come to gloat, Nora. Well, as you can see, I've escaped. I said I would. Oh, this is gorgeous. This might just be the video, guys. This might just be it. But even if it is just this, it is gorgeous. Hello, staircase. Well, nice to see you too. I know. Oh, it comes out there. Oh, I see. So this was right above the prison. So it would just be, they'd hold the prisoners down there, and then they come out into the ring. That makes much more sense now, as to like, and that's been boarded up, obviously, because it's not been used for that purpose anymore. But that makes sense. Like, they would hold the captives that they'd raid from other tribes downstairs, and then they'd bring them out to be slaughtered or to fight in gladiator-esque style against machines. Except no one would win, only lose. It's brutal, but certainly gotta give them marks for efficiency. go straight through everything. Thank you very much. Okay.
Time
No.
to get off this thing.
Yeah. Now we're stuck.